Okay.
Oh, we're live.
Awesome. So let's see. I was learning about Socket.io and what it is, and I found a couple of things. So basically, it's serializing, which is, let me just read this thing that I wrote down. It's basically an object that can be represented as a sequence of bytes that includes the object's data as well as the information about the object's type and the types of data stored in the object. And it's pretty interesting because, let's see, it just basically takes translates the data structure and stores it for like in a different place and reconstructs it later for you to to use it. And I found this place that it's like a Socket.io chat. I'm gonna pull it up and then I'm gonna show you guys. Which is just oh man, where is it? It just demonstrates how it works in a simple chat form, and if you can either you can even view the source code to see how it works and stuff. Is pretty nice. Let me put it up. There you go. Okay. Alrighty. So it's right here. It's pretty simple. Socket.io dash demos dash chat or slash chat. So basically, if you just type something and then you can start typing stuff, you guys can join in at any time and you can just chat back and forth. And I was looking at the source code um, and how how it implements this, and it's pretty interesting stuff. So this is some of the functions that it does. That it just translates that data and then reuses it later. Um, so yeah, that's basically what I was looking at. And then you can hold on a second. How do you? Whoa, I think I did something weird here. Okay. You can deserializing, which is after you serialize an object into a file, it can be read from a different file. So if you look at my source, where are you? Let me just show you this really quick. I have it in GitHub if it comes up. Okay. When using NetBeans, you're gonna have to add. Oh, I can't find it. Where is it? Okay. Okay, here it is. So this right here in the very bottom, it just creates the serialization of for example, of the Java beans that I created on NetBeans. And it's very simple. It's just basically you just right-click on the file and you create a serial version UID, and it will do it for you. And that's pretty much how you do it. I don't know. You guys have any questions or?
I don't think so.
Cool beans.
Beans, cool beans.
Nice to see you, Vaughn.
Oh, there's one.
Yeah, sorry, I'm on my boot camp on Mac right now, and I had to install plugins and all that fun stuff.
Oh, fun. Okay, so let's see. So So I did mine on safe parallel processing. So I didn't really understand what threads were before this exactly, and I guess I'm still kind of learning. But basically, when you run a Java application, you have a main thread, and what we can do is build our own threads that we can run alongside our main application thread. And so for safe parallel processing, it's just a matter of running more than one thread at the same time and not have them harm each other as they're going, or not changing, so that they don't change the data that the other thread's working on. So let me just read some of this really quick just so it makes sense. So a thread is an object that allows us to have multiple threads of execution running concurrently. And what we're going to work with are threads, runnables, and thread locks. And one thing that we have to keep in mind as we're running threads is there's a thread manager, or it's called a scheduler, and it's in charge of how long each thread gets to take on whatever tasks they have that they're performing. So each one of the threads, they're going to have a stack, and that's going to help them know what it is that they're processing. And because they're not going to be able to just run through a single process, they're going to get stopped a lot of times in the middle of what they're doing and allow another thread to start the process, and that's all going to be the thread scheduler that's doing that. And so how this is going to work is, in my little example, I've got two threads, and we're going to think of these threads as being people, individuals that are using the same data. And so I named the first thread Chandler and the other one Monica. And in this example, each of these are going to be accessing a bank account that I created, and it's just a simple bank account class where we have a balance. We're going to have a method to get the balance. We're going to have a getter to make a withdrawal, and we're going to have another method to make deposits. And how runnables work with threads is the runnable is the job that the thread is going to do, and the thread is the person. So a good way to explain that is worker is to job as thread is to runnable, or excuse me, the other way around. So a runnable is to thread what a job is to a worker. And so what we're going to do is we're going to pass this job, which is this runnable object class, into the thread. And when we start this thread, it's going to run the run process. It's going to run this run method. And so when we're talking about the job, this is the job that we're going to be doing. So we're going to make a withdrawal, we're going to print out what the balance is, and then we're going to make a deposit. So we create our threads, we name our threads here, and then we're going to start the first thread and then start the second thread. And so when the first thread starts, we're just going to make our withdrawal of $10, and we're just going to check on the balance and make sure that the balance is more than the amount. And then we're just going to print out that they're withdrawing, and then we're going to print out that whichever thread is accessing this, we're just going to put it to sleep so that the other thread has a chance to run as well. And every time we call the sleep method in a thread, we have to put that in a try catch block, because it's always going to throw an interrupt exception, because like I said, the task manager, or I keep calling it the task manager, the schedule, the thread scheduler, it may stop us right in the middle of running this method. So we may only get as far as printing this out, and it may say, okay, well now it's so let's say this is Chandler and it's printing this out, and then the scheduler says, okay, well now it's Monica's turn, so now Monica's running this make withdrawal, and then she goes through and then she falls asleep. Anyways, hopefully that kind of makes sense, but we're going to run through that. And let me just show you what it looks like when we actually run this. Okay, so here we have both Chandler and Monica making their withdrawals, and each time they make a withdrawal, they also deposit $1. And so you can see in here that when we get down to the end, after they've made several withdrawals, what ends up happening is while Chandler goes to sleep, and while Chandler's asleep, Monica makes a withdrawal, and because we're not updating that data until they actually wake from that sleep that we put them in, they end up overdrawing. So this is not safe parallel processing. So to make it safe, we have to use locks, and essentially every object in Java already has a lock, but they're always unlocked unless we specify that we want to use that. And so in my second example, this is the exact same code, but the only difference is we're locking this method that both of them are going to use. And what that does is it means only one thread can access this at a time. And I'm going to show you an example. So in this one, I'm only going to lock the make withdrawal, and that's going to solve the problem of them overdrawing. But because I'm not locking this make deposit, we're going to see kind of another problem that happens. So I'm going to go ahead and run this. And so now only Monica or only Chandler can access that method, and whichever is not accessing it just has to kind of wait in line. And so they're waiting for them to free up the key, because whichever thread's holding the key has access to it's actually access to any of the methods that have that synchronized word in front of them. And so here we don't have any overdraws, but we do have kind of a funny little scenario, if I can find it, where, okay, so here's the balance. So Monica gets the balance of their account, and they've got $12 in there. But then suddenly you'll notice that it jumps to $14 next time she checks it. But when Chandler gets a hold of it, he's got 13. So what happened there is Monica went ahead and updated the account while Chandler was asleep. So when Chandler originally grabbed 12 and then he added his dollar to it, he's still stuck here. And so to fix that, we're going to make this method synchronized as well, and that way they can't deposit on top of each other. So now when we run through here, all of their deposits are right where they should be. So a couple problems that we see, or if we don't code it right, we'll have issues with, is locking is good when you need it, but we want to keep it to a bare minimum, because the whole point of using threads is to be able to multitask. And every time we lock methods up, it forces the other threads to wait in line and wait their turn to access it, which slows us down. The other problem that can occur is we can have a deadlock. So if we had, say, two objects, and Monica holds the key to her object that she's utilizing, and Chandler's holding the key to his object that he's using, if at some point they want to switch and access the other person's object, they have to drop their key to their object first. And the way these work, from switching from one task to the other, they're just going to hold on to that key until they access that other object. So what happens is both of them are waiting for the other one to drop their key, and neither of them do. And so they're just stuck waiting indefinitely for each other. So that's another dynamic you have to watch out for in doing it. So that's what I've got on safe parallel processing.
Awesome. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was really cool. I like that a lot.
Do we need to talk about the project now that everyone's here, I guess?
Yeah, I think that would be beneficial. I went and got here. What the heck is that? Just 1 second.
One Mississippi.
There. In your chat, it's just a list of everybody's apps ideas.
Oh, nice.
So you can kind of remember what everybody had their ideas in the beginning.
Sweet.
Room decorator.
So which one looks the easiest?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the biggest. So, anybody you feel like that doesn't do your apps justice, feel free to expand upon them.
Maybe each of us should just take like a couple minutes and just kind of describe what it is they had in mind.
Yeah, I think that'd be a really good idea. People can get kind of your vision for your app.
Well, the app that I was thinking about is basically just to restrict you from it's like a parental guide, not parental guidance, but like a timer for yourself. So if there's people who are addicted to Facebook, for example, just make an app that will kick you out after a certain amount of time per day. But also make it so if there's other apps that you need more time on them, you can customize it to make it, I don't know, Facebook X amount of hours, and then I don't know, something else will be something completely different. Yeah, just to limit the amount of time you'll be on an application within the phone.
A good idea with that as well is to maybe set like a certain time of the day where you just can't access that app. So I mean, like you go to work kind of thing, you're not supposed to be on Facebook, so just set the time, 9 to 5. Facebook is restricted.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
That would be cool.
Idea for it.
Yeah, that would be nice. Like, that's I guess the app idea that came up.
All right, I'll go next. Mine's pretty self-explanatory. Basically, it's just an app for
No.
and hopefully,
We lost
is everybody caught up now?
Apparently your screen is, but that's about it.
Am I back?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, I'll try it again. So my app idea was just to BYU Idaho map, so you can see where you are on the map, and then also where all the buildings are. I mean, mainly for new freshmen coming in. My sister is a freshman this semester, and they have it for Apple, but they don't have it for Android devices. And so the basic was just the map idea, and then also I was thinking about adding kind of like floor blueprints type thing, so that you can click on a building and you can see where the rooms are. Sometimes it's easy to find the building to the app, like events and stuff like that. So it's just kind of in the simplest form, just the map of campus and maybe the layouts of the buildings where rooms are, and then you can build upon that with maybe prices of the MC and stuff like that.
I just put a link in the chat for some existing floor plans I found on the BYUI website.
Yeah, and that was actually one thing that in the beginning of the semester I looked up, and I found this as well, which would be super useful, helpful if we ended up doing this one.
I got it just because I always get confused with the room numbers. Like, I know where all the buildings are, but I don't know the room numbers.
And see, that's one way that it could still be super useful to upperclassmen. That, I mean, I don't know if you've ever been in, like, the Austin. Super confusing building. What is it? The Romney, the Clark. Like, those old buildings are so confusing.
Seriously, who's in charge of numbering them?
Not me. But that's definitely one thing that, you know, would make this app appeal to upperclassmen as well as incoming students.
That would be nice. Sometimes I have to, like, whenever when I was walking through the campus, I would like log into BYUI through my phone just to see where I was, because I was like, where am I? What is this place?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah, that's
So you kind of have to like implement GPS basically on it, right? And
Yep. Which I had an app. I'm not a golfer, but you know, occasionally I'll go golfing, and there's an app where you could measure your shot by, like, you know, pulling it up. You mark where you are, and it was connected through Google Maps. So you can mark where you were, go to your ball, mark it again, and it would measure your shot, kind of thing, your drive. So I don't know how hard it is, but I know it's possible that you can get yourself on the map.
that's cool.
And since they already have that basic app for Apple phones, we could kind of see about looking into the code of that and just kind of convert it over for Androids.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, that could also be a big help.
cool.
And then I know they have, it's on GitHub, they have Idaho, like maps as well. So, lots of possibilities there, and I think we'd have a lot of help.
Didn't work.
Cool. So I guess I'll go next. So my app is pretty simple. It just keeps track of people and items that they've lent to other people. So basically, it would show an item and show who they lent the item to and when it was supposed to be returned by. And then you could add other features like reminders, so have like a return date, and as it got close, it could send them a text or an email or whatever.
You're not online, right?
And just keep track of them. So pretty simple.
think that'd be cool.
Mine's kind of a simple idea as well. It's, I guess maybe inventory might be the wrong word. I mean, I'm not in the supply chain field at all. But just like to be able to keep a database of descriptions of serialized objects. So it's like, you know, a car or a gun or a computer or whatever. Like it has a serial number on it. And so you'd be able to log and search by that serial number and pull up a description of whatever it is. And so you could see, okay, this is, you know, a 2009 MacBook Pro. It's got this hard drive in it. It's got this much RAM. Or hey, this is a, you know, a 2002 Chevy Silverado. It's got these size tires. It's got this kind of engine in it, type of thing.
That definitely sounds doable.
My question, Vaughn, is what do you see this app doing? Like, I understand the kind of like your idea for it, but like, what is the purpose? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Is it just to have a record of it, or?
Well, I was kind of thinking you could have multiple types of objects in there, but primarily it'd be used only for one kind. So, like, you know, say you're a used car dealer or something like that, you'd have all of your cars. So you're out walking around in your lot with somebody, like, oh, hey, tell me more about this car. And you say, okay, hang on, I'll just, you know, scan the VIN number or something like that, and just pull up the description on your phone right there. You can tell them more details about it.
Okay. Cool. Thanks.
It's kind of like a QR reader, basically, but...
Well, I wasn't thinking of it like using a QR reader. Like, it could integrate some of that functionality if your item happens to have a barcode on it. But it would be more of, that would be the shortcut to read in the string that is the serial number. And then it would search the database based on that string, or the collection, or whatever you have.
That'd be cool.
All right, you're up, Austin.
All right. Well, I'll talk about the one that I originally had this semester, and then an app that somebody actually approached me with for doing for them afterwards. So the one that I had at the beginning of the semester, the room decor. So put simply, people are moving all the time, and how many times have you known of your mom or a girl that you know of redecorating their house? It happens all the time. And so, yeah, you're married, Leah. You know that. And so pretty much put simply, instead of being a guy and having to go and put everything on the wall, every single spot on the wall, and every single angle on the wall, they can just take a picture of what they want on the wall and take a picture of the wall, and then just kind of put the picture or the couch on that wall on their phone. Like, have the phone, the entire thing be like the wall, and they can put the picture where they want it, have the couch where they want it, so they can figure out beforehand where they want everything on their phone. And then you can say, like, all right, I want it to look like this, and then you go and put it here, put it there. And the one thing I thought might be a little difficult, or might be for more farther along, is putting measurements of the couch, measurements of the wall, measurements of the picture, so then it can have the right dimensions set up of the wall to picture ratio, and also you can find out how far up you want the picture, how far away from one edge of the wall you want the couch, things like that, so you can get dimensions of where exactly you want things specifically.
I don't know anybody that's that anal about their living rooms, but okay.
Well, there are a lot of girls out there, I tell you what, and just
wait till you get married.
Yeah. Is there any questions about that app?
One thought I kind of had that might make it easier for kind of some first steps, maybe, is to have, instead of like pictures and things you're trying to move around, maybe have like a top-down 2D kind of blueprint type view. And that would be a little bit easier to incorporate at least some horizontal measurements. And you could figure out exactly, okay, we want the couch here, we're going to have the TV here at this angle, and then you could like mark intervals on the walls for pictures, but not necessarily the height of them. Something.
All right. And the other app that a friend of mine actually approached me with doing was Driver's Quiz. He's one of like manager drivers or whatever for FedEx. His wife already made a website called Driver's Quiz, and you can do it and take the quiz on your phone. But he was actually thinking if we could make it a full-on app, that'd actually be better. So somebody could take the quiz, their boss or something would get notified that they took the quiz and passed it, and it just kind of helps the drivers that are out there to stay notified, to stay up to date with driving regulations of driving the big vehicles and things like that. And so the bosses kind of have their drivers staying up to date, and just it's he was wanting me to make, so then he could go and pitch it, and in a sense start selling it to companies.
Lehigh, what are you doing? It's really loud.
It's his son.
Oh, it's
My son has an empty juice bottle.
nice.
Maverick. No. He doesn't listen.
That's all good.
That works.
Nice.
No, he's not going to notice.
Okay, so are there any questions of either one of the two apps?
I think that's a really good idea. So it's basically just drag and drop, right? Like, you take a
pictures?
picture of like the thing and you just like drag it wherever you want. I think that's pretty cool. That would be pretty cool.
Now, I don't know, this is more of like farther end legit style, but I know Lehigh said something about how there's already an app or something where you can take a picture of it and it will say how far away it is, how tall it is, and things like that. Now,
Huh.
I have no idea about that or anything, and I don't even want to put that on my shoulders of possibly even trying to figure out right now.
That'd be
Yeah.
pretty sweet. I want that app.
Yeah,
Well, the one I mentioned to you was actually another golf app. I
well,
don't golf that much. These just happen to be a coincidence. But it was, you can measure the distance by measuring the height of the flag compared to where you were. So there's a little scale on the screen because I think all the flags are supposed to be, uniform height, and you just kind of adjust that so it matches the flag out in the distance, the pole. And that's kind of how you can know how far away you were. So that did it. And so I thought you might be able to do something similar for your wall, kind of like back up and mark the top and the bottom of your wall, and then either you'd probably have to input the height, and then use that in your algorithms to kind of get the height of everything else.
That sounds like math.
Yeah, I know. It's terrible. Blame Austin.
how does that come on me? Sounds like, we need
idea.
to, sounds like we need to go grab a CS major who's taking all those math classes.
Yeah.
Do we have one of those?
I passed my geometry class in junior high. I can do that.
I became a CNT major for a reason.
Yeah.
Get away from the math classes.
That's why I switched.
Same.
Oh man. Well, which one sounds the more easier one? Easiest one.
Yeah, I
you
guess.
could go.
I think Lehigh's seems doable, but it seems like it's also broad enough to cover most of or all of the things that we need to implement. So that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, that could be pretty useful.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. I guess that's something we have to keep in mind, is that we want something that we can use all the different topics in, so we can get our strongly agree in those areas.
True.
That's true.
Oh, half naked baby.
How old
What are you
is
talking
he?
about, dude? Just because you don't have pants doesn't mean you're half naked. He's 10 months.
Nice.
So maybe we could do this. I think a couple of you are taking the project management class right now, right?
Yeah, Austin and I are.
Did you guys use that little grading sheet thing, that Excel grading sheet, to decide on what project you guys were going to use?
No, we kind of just did our own project.
We kind of, already had a project that we were starting, so.
Okay, so if you want, I can upload a blank version. Basically, each of us will put the name of the project in, and then we'll list a few ways to grade it, and then each of us can just grade each project and then total up the points and see which one we vote for, if it's too difficult to vote right now. So unless you guys kind of know right now what it is you want to do, that might be a way to do it.
It's up to you guys. I mean, if you have an idea of one of the other apps that sounds good, I say let's just vote now. But if not, then we might have to do something else, like Richard's idea.
Okay, so my vote is either Lehi's or mine.
Yeah.
Well, of course you're going to vote for yours.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figure it'd probably just be a good rule of thumb to vote for someone else's, since we'll all vote for our own kind of thing.
Then I
You know
vote for
what I mean?
Lehi's.
I vote
take that.
for Lehi's too. I think that would be good.
Yeah, I could definitely go for that. I've always wanted to make use of those floor plans that I found.
This is your chance.
Well, from the looks of it, it doesn't really matter what me or Lehi pick because majority has
Austin.
spoken.
Your vote never did matter.
Thanks. I start off the first meeting in a closet. It's like you're keeping me there or something. I don't know what's up.
Austin, are you saying you came out of the closet?
I never said those words.
Of course. It is.
That's what I heard.
Oh man.
All right, cool. Let's
Well.
do it.
Hey Vaughn, so I click on that link that you sent, and it
Huh?
says that I'm denied. Access denied.
Same
You
here.
have to be an employee.
Oh, never mind. I'm not an
Oh.
employee anymore.
Yeah, you have to be an on-campus employee.
Would we be violating terms if we use that?
I find it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission.
And
So,
besides, it's for a school project, right?
Yeah,
So
it's for a good cause, so it should be okay.
I didn't realize that was employee access only. I keep forgetting the things I have access to.
and let's just go ahead with it, and then I can talk to some people tomorrow at work that might have a better idea on if we can use that or not. And I mean, it might come down to we just have to get permission from the school, and we can kind of go through some channels and find out who we have to talk to.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I said, the app already exists for Apple, so to an
What-
extent, we know we
What
can
is it
do
called?
it. iCross Campus. And for the record, I want a better name than that.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, I
Something
don't
like
have
Campus
any
Nav.
eye products except for my wife's iPad, so I put it on there and looked at it briefly.
Hey, there's a similar one called Lost on Campus for Android devices.
Is it for BYOI?
No,
Well, see there.
it looks like you could probably set it up.
Yeah, so it might be a lot of code we could use though.
Corner to the market on this one.
Huh.
All right. Well, is there anything else?
Do we need to
Wanna
pick
discuss?
stuff for next teaching topic?
Oh,
Whatever.
yes. Thank you. So Vaughn and Austin. Topics left are modern software designs and unit and other types of tests.
I think I claimed unit testing last week.
Yeah,
Okay.
I had that software thingy design something. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. I don't know why I didn't have that down. And then I'm gonna look into Hibernate. And then these are the last topics. We literally have no more after this. So Richard and Jonathan, if you guys want to just look into Hibernate as well, because according to Vaughn, it's kind of a beefy topic.
It's
So I figured
huge.
that, yeah, the three of us can kind of take that, maybe even split it up somehow, and we can all kind of share a presentation on that next week.
That sounds good to me.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, then, is there anything else? Oh, when are we meeting next week? Because Austin, Wednesday doesn't work for you, right?
Nope. Tuesday or Thursday is best next week. And then from then on, Tuesday and Thursday.
Okay.
Are you guys gonna be on? Yeah, you're in Rexburg, right? All of you are in Rexburg right now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be in Rexburg next week. Should we meet in person? I don't know.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. I guess we wouldn't have that one recorded though.
Well, we could set up, just set the camera towards like the group. You know, just kind of sit around in a circle and point the camera towards us.
Oh, okay. That works.
Something like that. We can figure it out. We're CIT, right?
Yeah.
Does that mean I'm
not
supposed to
AV.
know how a computer works? I just know how to program and make it do stuff. I don't know how it works.
Let's see. So for the Hibernate thing, do we want to just split it up and each of us take 3?
Yeah, yeah.
Sure.
I think that would be a good idea because there's 9, right?
Yeah, there's 9. I mean, I can do the first 3 if you guys, unless you guys like any of those.
I
No,
have
sounds
clue
good.
I have no clue what those are, so it doesn't really matter.
I don't know.
I know,
any of them
it's
are,
like-
so.
Some of them sound half familiar.
All right, you got the first 3.
Cool.
I'll take the second 3.
Alrighty, I'll take the last, I guess.
Sounds good. All right. Does anybody else have some? Oh wait. So next Tuesday or Thursday, what works better for everybody?
Either one's fine for me.
Yeah, I'm kind of. I mean, they're both about the same for me. So whichever for you guys.
Well, Lehigh, you usually go snowboarding on Tuesday, so you sure that
I'm
works
back
for
by
you?
5 o'clock. Don't worry about it.
All right.
Maybe we should do Thursday
With
just so it
what's
gives us more time to look at the topics. If it doesn't matter to anybody.
Yeah, Thursday's good. I'm lazy.
What time do we want to do on Thursday? I'm good. Whenever after 5 o'clock, I'm good.
I'm good anytime after 7.
Should you just
Okay.
keep it at the same time, 7? Or
That sounds good.
Are we good for meeting? Maybe just in the Smith building, since that's the CIT hangout.
cool.
Does that work for everybody?
Yeah, just meet in the lab room.
Yeah, let's just meet in the lab, and then we can go find an empty room if we need one. There's always empty rooms at night.
At
That
7?
sounds good.
Sounds good.
Is it possible to reserve one through the reservation system?
I'm sure
I'm
it's,
not
there's something
sure,
in
but
memory.
I used to be the TA in the lab, and there's always empty rooms.
Yeah.
Actually, the lab is usually one of the empty rooms. But so I'm sure we won't have a problem finding a room.
Okay. Because I can look into it if you want, and I can just post it if I find a classroom I can reserve.
Sure. I mean, if you want to, and you know, sounds good.
Okay.
If you can't, don't sweat it. But if you can, then we'd have a guaranteed room. That'd be good.
Yeah, I like being sure about those kinds of things.
All right. Sounds good then. So next Thursday, which is the 19th, at 7 o'clock
Cool.
Sounds good.
in the
Just
Smith.
just come grab me at around 7-ish. I'll be in the 325 lab since I'm a TA for the class. So just
Yeah,
come grab me.
I'll go grab you there.
Cool beans. So we'll do that then.
Alrighty then. Then I guess that's it. And I guess we'll talk to you guys next week.
Okay.
Awesome. Sounds good.
Hey, have a great night.
Yeah, you guys too. See ya.
See ya.
Bye.